All right, we're recording Thursday, October 9th. For CAP045, we're going to do section 3.1 in this video. It's in your textbook. I'm going to go through the examples and explain it. And you can follow along from page 172 to 176. So this is 3.1, and it's mathematical expressions. Starts on page 172. All right. So there are some definitions that you need to recall from your first chapter. They remind you about variables. You know that those are just now letters. They're unknowns. We're going to solve for the unknowns. And then also they talk to you about a mathematical expression. And that's basically just when we combine variables and numbers using addition, subtraction, multiplication, exponents, and other operations. It's kind of like a sentence about math and what's going on. So we could have something like 2a or x plus 5 or y to the second, and we put those together and they become a mathematical expression, and we want to make sure they're very well formed, and we learn to translate them in words. Okay, so this would be twice a maybe, and this could be 5 more than x, and this could be y squared. Those would be the words for them. So you're going to learn to translate words into mathematical expressions. So example 1 on the bottom of page 172 says, translate the following phrases into mathematical expressions. 12 larger than x. Well, that would be 12 plus x. Or you could say x plus 12 because we can use the commutative property, right? And then we have 11 less than y. Notice the less than means from. So it would be 11 less than y would be 11 from y. So you'd say y minus 11. And then letter C says r decreased by. So r decreased by 9 would be r minus 9. So you'll need to you'll practice doing those, translating those words. This is where you need to refer to your key terms that I posted on an announcement attachment to an announcement a while back, key terms of math, to refresh all those different words like increased and decreased and product and twice and quotient, so that you learn all those words. So spend some time learning those key terms. They also have some examples on page 173 that gives you the phrase and the translation with those keywords in there. I would highly recommend that you read those and study those. Then what they do is head on into an example 2 where they get a little more complex, where it says let W represent the width of a rectangle. As soon as you read that it's a rectangle, draw yourself a rectangle. Let W represent the width. Put a W next to the width. The length of the rectangle is 4 feet longer than its width. So on the length side, go 4 feet longer than, that means plus, the width. Put a W, 4 plus W. Express the length of the rectangle in terms of its width. So the length equals, here it is right there, you drew it on your picture. The length equals 4 plus W. L equals 4 plus W. All right, that's what they want you to do. All right, so you'll have some questions like that where you draw a drawing, write it down, and then express it how they've asked you to do that. All right, example 3, it says a string measures 15 inches, so I'd draw a string. Here's your string. I'd write that it's 15 inches, right? 15 inches. Make a picture. If you make a picture, it always makes more sense. It's cut into 2 pieces. Let x represent the length of one of the pieces and express the length of the second piece in terms of the length of x of the first piece. So if we cut it into 2 pieces and we have an x, well, then the second piece would be 15 minus x, wouldn't it? Do you agree? One of the pieces is x. We got to take that away from our entire 15 to get the other piece, 15 minus x. So that's what they're asking you to do. Again, I advise draw a picture. That way it takes some of that, the words, it takes a lot of the words out of it so that you can better understand it. All right. On page 174, they go through a section on all the phrases for multiplication, some sample phrases, not all of them, of multiplication and division. I would highly recommend you go through those words and make sure you understand what means multiplication and division. Then you practice it. In example 4, it says translate 11 times x. Well, that would be 11x. The quotient of y and 4. Quotient means division, so y divided by 4. And then twice a would be 2a for that one. So you'll practice applying those key words and key phrases to the operation that they indicate, multiplication or division. Then you put those keywords to the test with some word problems again. Down at the very bottom of page 174, example 5, a plumber has a pipe of unknown length x. Okay, draw a pipe. Just get it into a picture, right? And we know that this pipe is x. That's what it's saying. It's just saying unknown length x. He cuts it into 4 equal pieces. So cut your pipe into 4 equal pieces. Draw some dotted lines through it. Find the length of each piece in terms of the unknown length x. Well, it's going to be 1/4 of x, isn't it? If there's 4 pieces, it's going to be x divided by 4. You could say that. You could say it's x divided by 4 or 1/4 of x. That's the same thing, isn't it? If we divide by 4, we're getting 1/4 of it, aren't we? If we divide by 2, we're getting 1/2 of it. If we divide by 3, we're getting 1/3 of it. So if we're dividing by 4, we're going to get 1/4 of it. Or you could show x divided by 4. And they show that in the solution on page 175. All right, example 6 on page 175. It says Mary invests $80 in a savings account at paying 2% interest per year. So I've got $80 at 2% a year. I'm just taking out this information out of the problem and kind of quote making a picture of it with key points. She invests 5 times this amount in a CD, paying 5% a year. All right, so she's going to take this amount at 2% and invest 5 times it. So I'm putting it in parentheses and putting a 5 on the outside of it. 5 times the amount in the savings. Thus the amount, how much does she invest in the certificate of deposit in terms of the amount in the savings? So we kind of did that, didn't we? We said, well, the CD is going to equal 5 times the amount in the savings. I'm just going to use it as an A. I'm going to say the CD equals 5 times A, or we could say the amount in savings if you wanted to write it out. Okay, the CD equals 5 times the amount in the savings. And you could then say, if you want to, you could assign variables, I guess, or you could say CD equals 5A or something like that. And that's what the book suggests, okay? So taking the words and putting it into a mathematical expression or equation. Combinations is the next section on page 175. And it says some phrases require combinations of mathematical operations employed in the previous examples. So in other words, we're going to have multiplication and addition, or subtraction with multiplication, some sort of combination. So it says let the first number equal x. So we'll have first number equal x. The second number, I'm just writing these out, is 3 more than, so 3 plus, 3 more than twice the first number. So 2x, isn't it? Because the first number is x. So 3 more than 2x. Express the second number in terms of the first number. So we just did that. The second number is 3 more than 2x. 3 plus 2x is the second number. So we pulled out all the words that it was saying in the problem and put them in a mathematical expression. And finally, on page 176, it says that example 8, the length of a rectangle, as soon as you read a shape, draw it. The length of a rectangle, L, so we're going to put an L. The width is 15 less than 3 times the length. So the width is 15 less than, 15 from, 3 times the length. You see what I just did on the width section? I wrote a 15 less than 3 times the length. I wrote my 3L first minus 15, 15 from 3 times the length. So there it is. It asks to express the width in terms of the length. Well, it's 3L minus 15. So draw a picture for these and then write out the expression that represents the words, the key terms that you know what it means. More than is plus, less than is from, times is times, right? Product is times. So you'll practice that through the exercises on page 177. That's the end of 3.1. So you can always watch this video again and again if you want to, and then do the homework for it. I'll post another video for 3.2. See you in the next video.